I'm Alex Morash, and let's queer up politics. House passes first ever federal ban on gender-affirming care for trans youth with Democratic support. The U.S. House has passed a bill that would criminalize gender-affirming medical care for transgender minors, marking the first time Congress has approved a national ban on this care. The measure passed late Wednesday by a narrow vote of 216 to 211 and now heads to the Senate, where it is expected to fail. The bill, introduced by far-right Republican Representative Marjorie Greene of Georgia, would make it a felony for doctors to provide puberty blockers, hormone therapy, or surgeries to patients under 18. Parents who consent to or help their child access care could also face criminal charges and prison time. According to Representative Mark Takano, chair of the Congressional Equality Caucus, quote, "This bill is the most extreme anti-transgender legislation to ever pass the House of Representatives. This bill is beyond cruel, and its passage would forever be a stain on the institution of the United States Congress," end quote. 3 Democrats joined Republicans in supporting the bill: North Carolina Rep. Dawn Davis and Texas Reps. Henry Cuellar and Vincent Gonzalez. LGBTQ plus advocates warn the vote alone would chill care nationwide. These are some of the worst Democrats. One of the rep from Texas, Cuellar, I think he's the one that had money found in his fridge by the FBI 10 years ago, if memory serves. But, I want to add there's a lot happening here. I know we know that this bill doesn't look like it's going anywhere, but HHS has also said to hospitals today, we're going to try and pull federal funding if you do gender-affirming care for minors. This attack on trans kids and trans families and the parents of trans people and the medical community is beyond the pale, what we're seeing. And it's a reminder we have a few problems. One, that, I know some of us like to think maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene's a good person once in a while, because she says, in her fever dreams, she occasionally says something good. She's still crazy, kids. Remember that. But also, we've created these systems where it's now so easy for the Republicans to dismantle health care and take our rights away. We really have to ask ourselves what sort of country we want to live in.
I mean, this is just the tip of an iceberg. I mean, just today alone, the White House want to denaturalize naturalized citizen just because they want to ramp up
for being trans?
No, for just being disagreeable to the White House, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, when do they have any rhyme and reason to denaturalize or deport anybody? They don't.
Of course, but I think the story here is about how they're specifically targeting trans kids and the healthcare providers.
Segments of population for the deportation and denaturalization. To make no mistake, you think a Swedish immigrant is going to want to get denaturalized? No.
Of course.
But all of it just comes down to one point: cruelty. Cruelty is the entire point of this administration. They don't care about public decency. They don't care about whatever is actually the right thing to do. This is just about inflicting pain on a segment of the population that the White House, specifically some people in the White House, deem inferior.
Of course, but also don't forget, it was a 216 to 211 vote. If those 3 Democrats didn't help the Republicans along, the bill would have failed. That, to me, is probably the most shocking thing of this.
Yeah. Larry, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was just going to say briefly, the ramifications too. You shift from providing gender-affirming care to, then having spikes in mental health. And that's going to go, that has to be covered if you have insurance. You also look at the ramifications. If people can't get something here, we've seen it with just general cosmetic procedures. People will go for gender-affirming care where they can, if they can afford to go outside of the country, and that could have dangerous consequences as well.
And some of the stuff that was banning puberty blockers for people under 18. I had a friend in college. She was cis-het girl. She had to take puberty blockers at 10 or 11 because her puberty started just way too young, and it's dangerous. You're not supposed to start at that time. It's a normal medical thing. The idea that we would ban it, it's insanity.
Well, I mean, I will I'll echo your sentiment. We're talking about staying on Congress. I think that's Marjorie Taylor Greene's nickname, right? Or, she's doing this apology tour when she looked like she was like somewhat reasonable. And then she, obviously is the person that introduced this bill. She is a hateful woman, and she's hateful towards our community. And also, let's a reminder, again, the administration releasing these, the HHS and Trump trying to withhold funding. It is a distraction from the fact that Trump is being decimated because the economy is going in the wrong direction. And he did a, 18-minute tirade last night, naming transgender as one of the topics, culture wars, at the top of a prime time speech. So the attacks by this administration against LGBTQ people, especially the trans community, are always brought back and again and again and again when they want to distract and take away from all of the failures that they're having, whether it's Epstein files, whether it's attacking, starting a war without authorization, the fact that we still have prices are not going down, even though the job, unemployment is going up. The administration is failing and flailing. So what are they going to go back to? They're going to go back to culture wars. So let's not forget this is probably going to be more of the same, especially as we head into the midterm elections.
That was a very bizarre thing to watch last night, if anyone else caught it.
Frightening.
Oh my God! First, he's the shadow of his former self. He just looks like he's about to die at any moment. And he claimed that he brought peace to the Middle East for the first time in 3,000 years. And I was like, that's just
prove it.
Yeah, like it's just nice to know that we just say crazy stuff now.
Yeah. It's like someone waking up from like a coma and they like start talking like all kinds of crazy and they go back down. That was kind of what it reminded you of. They just propped him up there.
Old man yelled at cloud.
Yeah,
The Simpsons. The immortal clip of The Simpsons. Old man yells at cloud. But go ahead.
Well, great conversation. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.